In this video, I would like to introduce you to a beautiful country, a country where I lived for more than 50 years, in which I was raised and which guides my daily life. We are in Armagnac, a well-known region in the southwest of France, also called Gascony, a region of polyculture, a region where gastronomy is of the highest importance, where the quality of life is just as important. It's a region with a lot of ducks farms for foie gras production, cattle and pig farms, a lot of cereals production, some forest, and of course, the vineyards, which produce the grapes that go into the elaboration of our product, Armagnac. Armagnac is the oldest brandy in France. We have found evidence of distillation of vines in Armagnac 700 years ago. It's a part of the heritage of Gascony, and it retains a very important place in the hearts of the Gascon people. Armagnac is produced in 3 major terroirs with different soil and subsoil profiles. First of all, there is Bas Armagnac, the part closest to the ocean, which was for many years a swampy area until the dense forest was planted between the ocean Atlantic and Armagnac. The soils of Bas Armagnac are sandy, very interesting for the production of rich and complex eau de vie, ideal for long aging. The soils of Ténarèze, more clay limestone, are also of interest and produce more powerful, full-bodied Armagnacs. Haut Armagnac, known as Armagnac Blanc or White Armagnac, because of the limestone outcrop in this part of the country. Some producers still maintain the tradition of Armagnac production today, but distillations are few. Armagnac is a spirit, a distilled brandy, produced using with wines made using white grapes only. These wines are generally very acidic because acidic wines are the best wine for use in distillation. Armagnac has a range of grape variety that are very different from each other, but all of which produce acidic, low alcohol wines, making for this aromatic balance so typical of our region. Uni Blanc is the distillation grape variety par excellence. It gives acidic wines, low in alcohol, which after distillation produce delicate and quality brandies. Folle Blanche is the historic grape variety of Armagnac and produces delicate, often floral eau de vie. The Baco grape is unique in the French wine growing landscape. It's an hybrid, particularly suited to the sense of the Bas Armagnac, where it confers roundness, smoothness, and aromas of ripe fruit on the eau de vie, particularly after a long aging period. Colombard is not used as much as the other for distillation. Its fruity and spicy aromas are appreciated in blends. These white wines, after having known this magical moment of distillation, which concentrates the aromas and the alcohol, will reveal an incredible colorless eau de vie, which will have an ABV of between 53 and 60 degrees, depending on the intensity of the fire in the still and the style of Armagnac you want to produce. The brandy, when it comes out of the still, is colorless, and it's thanks to its contact with the tannins of the oak barrels, in which it ages for a long period, that the eau de vie will gradually take on the color that we know so well. Initially light, the color will become more intense until it reaches the mahogany color that we see in very old eau de vie. Of course, Throughout the aging process, when the Armagnac is in contact with the oak barrel, the winemaker, the cellar master, has a very important role in testing, in transferring from one barrel to another, in interplay between different barrels of different ages, which are sometimes blended before bottling. The essential role in the composition of Armagnac can be compared to that of a conductor who will compose with the different instruments available to him in his orchestra. The cellar master does the same with the different elements that he can adjust between the different ages of Armagnac and the different barrels. Several categories of Armagnac are on the market today. Classic Armagnac blends, VS or 12 months of aging, VSOP, 4 years minimum, XO, 10 years of age minimum, or specific ages like those found in the Anglo-Saxon environment in Scotland. 8 years old, 10 years old, 12 years old, 20 years old, 30 years old. Also, vintage eau de vie is a tradition in Armagnac. It's the brandy that comes from a single year that has never been blended, which reflects a full year of climate influence and weather conditions, and which will allow an incredible diversity from one vintage to another. The Darroze family was born in Gascony. Originally a restaurateur, my grandfather Jean was a very famous chef in the interwar period and after World War II. He passed on his passion for catering to his children and grandchildren. Even today, Hélène, my sister, works in Paris and in London with numerous awards in the Michelin Guide. The family restaurant was located in Gascony, in the heart of Bas-Armagnac, in the heart of the Armagnac countryside. Of course, the selection and collection of brandies available at the restaurant was limitless. This passion of Armagnac is firmly rooted in all the members of the family, and it was Papa Francis who decided to make it an important activity and to create this brand, which today can be considered a leading brand in the Armagnac market, the qualitative leader, the leader in terms of search for excellence. We are wine growers, we are wine grower distillers. We go to the property to choose the terroir, the producer with whom we distill wines, which will then age in our cellars and that we market many years, even decades later, in different ranges. The historical Darroze range is the unique collection, where we highlight the origin of the product, the name of the property, and the vintage, and where each barrel, each cask will be unique, showing its own character and identity. We will use this diversity to bring to the most prestigious restaurant in France and in the world, and to wine merchant an incredible variety of eau de vie of different styles. Then there is the Grand Assemblage range, which, somewhat in contrast to the unique collection, plays on the complementarity of Armagnacs. With this range, we blend Armagnacs together, seek their complementarity, so as to offer you cuvées which we are able to reproduce in style, test and in balance for many years. We also have a range that we call biologique, which is a range of Armagnacs from organic farming. Some of the wine growers with whom we work have made a strong move towards organic farming to return to tending the vines without any chemical intervention. Another very important range, which underlines the very premium, very qualitative side and the excellence of Armagnac, is the Luxe Gascon. We bottle in crystal decanters that have been created exclusively for us, very, very rare and very, very old Armagnacs that have been preserved from generation to generation. It's indeed a luxury in itself to keep these treasures for so long, this exceptional and unique eau de vie in their extraordinary decanter. Finally, our slightly more modern approach to Armagnac, the Blanche, a colorless brandy straight from the still, which will never spend time in oak barrels, and which will allow mixologists, bartenders, cocktail professionals to use Armagnac as a base for cocktails and be able to work with the different tree grapes varieties that we have highlighted: Uni Blanc, Baco, and Folle Blanche. To conclude, I would like to remind you of the 4 main values that guide our daily work. Authenticity, as all our Armagnacs are always natural without adding caramel or other tannins before bottling. Respect. Respect for terroirs, respect for vintages, respect for Armagnacs, respect for producers, and of course, our customers. Independence, that guarantees us total freedom in our choices. Darroze Armagnac is an independent company, completely managed by the Darroze family. And of course, the last but not the least, the pleasure. The pleasure of working with this magnificent spirit and the pleasure of sharing all this with you.